What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Resident Horror. And today we're going to talk about a horror film, a 2017 film called It. And it's based on the Stephen King novel. So it has very good source work. And with this film, they did a great job in reimagining this epic horror tale. But before we get into it, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and that notification bell so you don't miss a video. This film was released in 2017 and the director is Andy Muschietti. This film, to me, is a standout in horror. Like I said earlier, it is based on solid source material. And in this imagination, the directors, the writers, did such a good job of bringing this whole world, this horrific character named Pennywise, to a new generation. It's up there with the best horror movies. I'm not saying that it's the best, but I'm saying it is one of the best, worthy of a watch. Now, this revolves around a supernatural entity that comes down to this town named Derry in Maine years and years ago and has been causing havoc ever since. Preys upon the fears and also targets the children. Now, that is what makes this so terrifying. I've always said, and I stand by it, that any horror movie that shows callous disregard for children and youth has to be one of the most horrific, because these are some of the most innocent people. And when an entity focuses on them in particular, you know that you're in for a horror treat, per se. Not that it's a good treat, but you know that it's ruthless and that this entity has no bounds, no rules. And Pennywise uses the fear that people have towards him against them, and also is a lover of children and kidnaps children. Very horrific. And also some people have a healthy fear of clowns. You know, they can be pretty jarring. This also revolves around friendship and the bond of friendship from young to old. And this need to overcome obstacles together, because separately you're weak, together forms a nice tight chain and you can survive. And this is how they overcome Pennywise in the end, by sticking together and realizing everyone's strength. And I would say if this film also was to be done today, I don't think it could be done, because you know, they make a lot of jokes and people are really sensitive nowadays about things. So a lot of things that went on in this film, the jokes, the humor, the unapologetic political incorrectness was at an all-time high in this. And one of my characters that I really enjoyed was Richie. All of the actors in this put their whole leg into it. And one of my favorite characters of the friends had to be Richie. His timing, the writing on his character was priceless. The timing of his lines, priceless. One-liners, absolutely funny, raunchy. He had no bounds. Excellent. And but no shade to anybody else. Everybody else in the film did a great job. All of the characters hit the mark. Really entertaining. The cinematography was taken to a whole nother level. The original had good cinematography, but you know, we have better cameras and everything right now, so it really brought this to the forefront. One of the shots that I thought were really good in this film was right at the beginning, when it was raining and Georgie was outside in the rain, and you're showing the little paper boat going down the road into the sewer. Fantastic shots. And what makes this shot come to the crescendo was in the sewer when you first see Pennywise come out. What absolutely horrific, nerve-wracking. Pennywise is one of the most nerve-wracking horror icons out there, in my opinion. Very sinister, just comes off as he can lure you into some foolishness, you know. So I can see the appeal to the children, but also has this whole wicked vibe to him when he doesn't get his way, and he kind of changes in demeanor and attitude. A fantastic horror icon, and Pennywise deserves to be talked about more often, man. Absolutely horrific horror icon. This film also features great sound in every aspect. It features Dolby Atmos, and it uses all of the speakers. The visuals of this film is absolutely fantastic, bar none. The ending is excellent in this film as well. It wasn't a final ending, but the ending in this film was great. It could have just stayed the way it was. Now, they did make a part 2 to this film in 2019, It Chapter 2, where they tried to bring it to a conclusion, which they did, but it didn't hit as well as a 2017 It. I think we all could agree on that. Chapter 2 had its moments, but I think the adults playing the roles in Chapter 2, it was really jarring, kind of cringe, and the film elevated itself when it went back to showing the children in their youth. These films are at its best when they're showing the children in their youth. Chapter 2 did have its moments, especially when she went back to the apartment to see her father. That whole scene with the Pennywise playing this lady that lived there and seeing her in the background, absolutely fantastic. But the reason why I'm not putting Chapter 2 up there in the same league as Chapter 1 is because it isn't in the same league as Chapter 1. But it was serviceable, not as good. Put Pennywise, It, Chapter 1, 2017 release up there in your must-watch category if you're a horror fan, if you're a movie lover, and you have not seen It, Chapter 1. I highly recommend this film. It hits on all cylinders, from story, character development, horror, sound, visuals. It's there. This film is it. This film is it. So it gets my stamp of approval. I try not to go too much into spoilers, so that's why it kind of seems a little bit all over the place. I don't want to spoil the whole story for people, but go check it out. And be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. If you agree with me or if you don't agree with me, I would like to hear from you in the comments. Once again, thank you for spending your time with Resident Horror. I will see you on the next video. Have a magical day.